All right, guys, it's Copper Cutlass, and I'm going to try to make this as short as possible. But the fender with the best section, okay, so I came out and cut these because this is mainly the pieces I need to make these fenders work, right? They're not too bad. This is just a little bit of surface rust you see on there, whatever. So this has all of the embossments. They're good. This one does not. This has been kind of boogered up. You know, I didn't do this. When I kind of started doing body work on this car, I just kind of took over what was there and I made it better. And by better, I mean somebody worked on it at some point, then Dave did some at some point, and I think there was just too many chefs there, and I kind of took over. We traded some work, and, you know, the rest is kind of history. But this fender is going to be like easy peasy. We're just going to, you know, we're going to drill out the brace, and then we're going to locate the brace so that I have to drill this brace out of this fender, and I have to establish the height, and then we can go ahead and make our cut where we want, because what I want to do is I want to make this patch panel as little as possible because I can on this one. So as you see, we got these molding holes here. I want to go just underneath here so I can butt weld it, and then most of our work, our body work, will be hidden by this. So we're not trying to like hide anything or say like we're going to do shoddy work. But if you got a molding that's going to hide any welding, any body work or anything, or if we could even get away with doing no body filler there and just a metal finish, that would be awesome. Or just maybe like a skim coat, and then like, boom, we put this on, and then like you got like really, like you won't have this shit there, right? So that's good. And it doesn't look like this has been patched. You know, it's actually fairly solid. So this fender's good. So let's go to the other one. This one's got like a dent in the front. It's been hit. Got to straighten it out. Got to weld it. It's got a pit right where the molding goes, but I think I'm going to just live with that, and the molding should cover it. The only areas I'm going to worry about is this little stuff down here. We're going to straighten this out. We'll weld that up, and, you know, this will just kind of leave because it's going to be behind molding, and trying to minimize the work, and you don't see it, so we'll probably end up doing just a little something there, but it's not going to be as like involved as welding. I'll live with that. Call me a hack, call me what you will, but that's what I'm going to do there. Over here, we do have some pitting that I am going to have to weld up because it's in an area that is completely exposed, even though we do have our 442, I think, emblems that go here, or Cutlass script, whatever it was. I got to figure out if I have to weld those up or open them up. Really don't know. But you could see that our rust is all the way through, so our brace is going to pretty much have to come up to here somewhere. Hope I got that. I wasn't really looking. But the unfortunate part is, like, you can see it doesn't have the embossments. This is really square. It's been really boogered up and layered, and like when I did the body work to this, the whole concept was to just not get carried away and just kind of work with what was there, because there was a lot of work that was pretty much done, but I pretty much redid all of it. I don't know who was doing the body work, so if Dave, you watch this isn't a shot at you, but somebody had added like an insane amount of filler to the door here to make it match with the quarter panel, and I took all that off and I made the doors all fit and the front end fit as square as possible on this car. It is a tube chassis car, and I believe when they cut out the floors and stuff, the body shrunk down a little bit, and they probably didn't measure their dimensions right, because there was some weird stuff going on when we were doing our panel alignment that clued me into that. And unless somebody can, you know, follow the chassis dimensions of the original car, I'm not talking about the tube chassis, because essentially you're putting a shell over an entire jungle gym. It is important to keep some widths. Some of the widths are very important to keep square. So like the cowl and everything was cut out of that car, and I very vividly remember spending a lot of time trying to get the fenders and the doors and everything to square up with the front, because it seemed like the front of the car got shrunk in the process of swapping the body over, which would actually explain why the roof was potato chipping up on us. And I It's actually was my introduction to doing the bodywork to this car. Dave wanted to get the roof all kind of squared away, as that was the final thing that he really had to do. And then as I was working on it, I'm like, well, this is kind of rough. This is kind of this is kind of that. And I kind of took over and redid everything pretty much, at least on the surface. I didn't take it down to bare metal, but I kind of worked with what was there. And the thing that I did was the roof was kind of sunken in almost in a four-corner shape. So probably from lifting and the body shrinking, my guess is that it will, I know everybody that was kind of involved with the car, so like I'm not trying to say anything bad, but I know from doing collision repair what happens to cars when they get a hit and the way stuff moves and what throws panel gaps off. But I remember, and it's in some of the pictures that I have of the car, where that front end and the doors, they didn't quite line up. And we had to bend the door frames, and we really had to work to make all the panel gaps on that car work as good as possible. And this piece, I think I'm going to end up having to make from scratch. I'm probably going to take an overall length dimension, with like a seamster's, measuring tape. And I'm going to have to kind of make one length of, construction paper, and laying it to that length, laying it over the fender, and then kind of figuring out where our curvature is going to go, because the bottom of this fender actually, it curves this way and then it goes flat where it butts up to the rocker panel. So we're kind of into the unknown, because we know how these fenders fit to the car, and you got this weird layerage here going on, and I don't know if that's part of the original brace, and then they got like metal down here, and there's like Bondo, which that's like a what the fuck's going on moment. And then you got like some booger welds here and like some like plate here. Like this is actually like really fucking heavy. Like these fenders are actually way lighter than what was on the car over there. And I don't know if that's just buildup of material. Again, I did not take the car down to bare metal, but Jesus Christ, is there a weight difference between the two? So this is like from here, it gets way more critical, way more involved. This is just your doctor going in and checking you out and saying, all right, man, your gallbladder's fucked up. Let me figure out, I got to go in there and cut you up. So on that note, I'm going to let you guys go. Let me know what you think. Share, like, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram as Copper Cutlass. And then the next video, I might just have my phone on a jumper on a tripod and let it roll. And I'm going to go ahead and start working on it. And but for now, this is all I wanted to do today. I still got work to do on the house. I just was out here doing my wife's oil change, and I figured while I moved cars around and had space, I was going to make a little room down here for all that fun stuff. So on that note, I'll let you guys go.